Hello, my name is Seema Prasad. I'm here at the mall at Green Hills, and this is my mall talk. I am the proprietor of Miel Restaurant and the co-owner of Harvest Wine Market. At a very young age, I got enthralled by flavor. When I tasted something that was complex, I would contemplate it and stop. And I think it drove my family crazy because it would take forever for me to finish a meal. I get really excited about the dining experience and how we can make it special with the little details. It's not just the food and the wine or the cocktail, the beer, and how those work together. So think of lighting, sound, scent. Think of the comfort of your chair. Think of the way you're seated, not right next to someone, but a little further away if the restaurant's not full. Enjoying sitting on the patio in the garden where your food is being produced. Those are the things at Miel that we really focus on. If you're interested in learning more about wine, my first suggestion would be to get to know a local wine merchant. You will find someone there that will get to know your palate and be able to guide you towards the bottles that will be most interesting. And as you taste them and give them feedback, your adventure will start and be really rewarding. Last October, I opened a wine market. I should have done this a decade ago. It's been so much fun. The market allows us to bring our customers, these same customers, a really curated selection of wine that focuses on sustainability, on small farmers, on people that pay good wages to their team, that truly make wine in the vineyard. They're delicious and they are great values. I think that's the one thing we think sometimes, that it has to be expensive. It's not. We have phenomenal $20 bottles of wine in that store that I will gladly drink. It's so funny. I think sometimes the job of a restaurant and wine shop owner can feel glamorous or look glamorous from the outside. Last night we dealt with a drain overflowing. Things happen. It's not always so glamorous, and it's nuts and bolts every day. Overall, it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So when I was a child, I spent a lot of time gardening with my grandmother. She gardened organically, which is really the only way she knew. We never had chemicals around. We always composted. She taught me how to smell the dirt, like you would get it really close and even taste it, in order to know how to amend it to best support what you were planting. I think that's when my palate really started to get honed. I'm inspired when I travel. Truly, it's architecture, the history of another place and how they got there, understanding what they lived through and what we can learn from that today. One little known fact is I went to college on a music performance scholarship. I played clarinet in the symphony. So I am the least starstruck person there is at all, but there's this one woman that came to the restaurant and I have so much respect for her. She's a professor at Vanderbilt. Her name's AJ Levine, and she knows this story. So I'd seen her speak. I was at church, and they have this Wednesday night program about the New Testament. She's a New Testament professor, and I just wanted to learn a much more academic perspective. I literally sat on the edge of my chair for 2 hours listening to her, and she came into the restaurant. And the whole team didn't know why I was a little awkward. I'm like, that's this woman that I so admire. She's just brilliant. She's a great lecturer, and it's just someone I learned a lot from. It was definitely the only moment I've ever been starstruck. Right now in Nashville, we have a food pharmacy. Food is medicine is the whole idea behind curing disease or aiding in the cure of your disease by eating differently. This is happening at Nashville General Hospital, and watch soon. I'll have my 3rd annual fundraiser at Miel Restaurant in order to support its efforts. Wine is made in so many parts of this world. I just returned from Budapest, where I learned for a week, I studied for a week, about wines from Hungary. The House of Royal Tokaj was our host, and they were wonderful, and I learned so much about the history of wine in a very old wine culture with old basket presses and these beautiful dessert wines as well as dry wines that are red and white. That part of the world, Macedonia, Albania, Romania, Armenia, they literally have been making wine for 5,000 years. So my favorite store in this mall, much anticipated, hint, born and raised in Seattle, Nordstrom is here. So one thing I learned as a child is customer service, and one of the ways I learned it was by being a customer at Nordstrom. There was a bar that was higher than anything else you experienced, and I very much have used that in what I do today.